to the That Slate podcast presented by your host, Phil Schneiter, aka what? I was in the middle of my thing. Jesus.
Sorry, go on.
No,
Go on, just get the break.
It's too late.
Did you see the episode on the mushrooms?
What episode?
The mushroom episode?
Oh yeah, so
Jesus Christ. That's the most dramatic thing I've ever seen.
Can we talk about it or no?
We can, yeah.
Okay, first of all, we're really grateful to have worked on this project before everything I'm going to say.
I don't want to hear what you're saying now.
No. So Phil got a gig for the Australian TV a few weeks ago, and we shot an interview in Bern, and we acted a little bit because they needed B-roll, and the whole topic of the interview was mushrooms.
You acted, yeah.
And because like they had a case of like someone eating bad mushroom in Australia, I think, and mushroom control, I think, is a Swiss thing. Apparently, and like they had an interview with someone in Bern. Anyways, so Phil called me and was like, "Did you want to come help out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." We showed up, did the interview. Nothing special about it. It looks good, but nothing special. But then they needed B-roll, so I acted. And Phil shot me walking in with like mushrooms and a thing. And I ended up on national TV in Australia for mushrooms. And I've never went mushrooming in my life. And I don't even really like mushrooms. But yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Can we say I'm an international actor now? Because technically that was acting and it was international.
Yeah. And it was TV.
Yes, and you're an international director, cam op, and DP.
An interviewee.
And interviewer.
Interviewer.
Yeah.
Shit.
Fuck, we stepped that up, huh?
I think we made it.
We made it.
Big time.
So, yeah.
My Instagram didn't blow up. I was expecting like, shit.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, but maybe one day. But not today. Today is another topic. So not mushrooms, not Australia, not acting.
What is today's topic?
Today is something other very exciting and important. It's connecting and networking. Network as in TV network in Australia. No, I'm kidding.
Ooh, nice segue.
No, connecting and networking, which is another big part in any industry really today.
It is.
Not just this one.
One of the most important things. Like one could say.
Do you like to do this?
Do what?
Connect and network.
Acting on national TV or?
Yeah,
network?
I know you like that. You were like, you are a sucker for it. Like,
yeah.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Can I do a somersault? Can I? Bless you.
Can I do a backflip?
Are you cold? Because I noticed you just put on a hoodie and a vest.
I was cold, yeah, but now I'm getting warm. Let's see.
Nice. Let's see. Okay, go. Networking. I kind of like it. Ever since. Because before working here, I think I've said it on every podcast, but I worked for like agencies in the past, and networking then was kind of a pain.
Oh, you have the headphones.
Yeah, I'm monitoring.
Okay.
Yeah, was kind of a pain because I was just talking about like something I really didn't believe in. But now networking as like my own entity.
You didn't believe in as in the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
but it was your company, right?
The one before. The one before one before that. And ever since I did my own things, like I think it's much easier to network because like the values and like what you believe in are basically the core values of like what your company or
representing
like
yourself, not someone else. Yeah.
Do you like it? You seem like someone who would actually be really good at networking just because you're so easygoing and like you're able to talk to people.
That helps a lot.
Yeah.
But I think it's not an active thing to me because it's really easy for me to connect and to like connect to people and just manage to talk to them. It's something I don't have to do actively, I think. And I think that's the way I go about it. It's just, for me, the rule is always like being nice to other people, just in general. I mean, not just with a business thought in the back of your mind, just in general. Being nice to people will take you so far.
Oh, for sure.
That network, I mean, that's the best networking. Just being nice in general.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be anyone like you're relating to because of your work. Doesn't need to be anyone you have an interest in like working together or working for or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Being nice, it will take you a long way. Even if it's the like you might be nice to one person, and that person tells another person about you, or I don't know, you come up, and then that person like connects you to someone that actually is like a potential, I don't know, client, partner, or whatever.
I think
that's the easiest way to go about it. To just,
I think your reputation in this industry is like one of the most important things, solely because like once you're known as someone who's like, I don't know, like an asshole on set, or someone who's not really reliable, or someone who does like X and Y Z, then you're that guy for like forever.
Especially in a small
country like Switzerland.
A small what do you say? Niche work environment. How do you say it?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Like the industry, a small industry like Switzerland. Because Switzerland is small, yes, but also the industry of filmmaking.
Yeah, there are not so many people.
It's very small. Yeah, as well.
So networking. What do you do to network? Because like I know, you know, if you look at networking in the more traditional ways of doing it, you know, it's going to events, networking events. You know, if you look at like the entrepreneurs and stuff in Switzerland, not necessarily in like filmmaking, they have like, you know, clubs they go to, they have like evening where they like have to pitch their companies and stuff. But for filmmaking, I think it's kind of like different. And I think it's because
I think it's everywhere. It's the same. It's literally what it is: connecting to people, getting to know people, and just knowing them for, in the case you need something, or they need something from you, hopefully, whatever you're offering, services, products, whatever.
But in terms of like platforms that you use, that's why I meant by old school way of doing things is like going to events on Thursday nights between like 5 and
I understand.
7.
I'm not saying you're not right. I'm just saying, like, if you break it down, in the end, it's just connecting to people, being friendly, and making a good impression.
Let people know what you do.
Like, they keep you in mind for whatever you're doing, selling, offering services, whatever. And I think if you see it like that, then it's pretty easy, because everywhere you go, you tell people about what you do, you listen to what they do, because it's both ways around. If you're only like selling them what you're doing, and that's already like a downside to me. Like, you need to be open and really like connect, because connecting is not going there and telling everyone how cool you are and what you do. It's connecting to them, speaking to them, listening to what they're doing and who they are, and then also telling them what you do. Yeah. On like a very, to me, is like a very low key level, not anything that.
So you never actively act as like a salesperson?
No.
Never.
I couldn't do it anyway.
Okay.
If I wanted to. Probably, I mean, maybe I could, but it wouldn't feel right.
So how do you meet?
To me, it's just, sorry,
go ahead.
No, to me, it's just, like I said, really going through life, being nice to people. And I know that, because I firmly believe in karma. And to me, I know like stuff will come around. Yeah. It doesn't need to be business related. I mean, it can be life related or relationship related, or just in general, anything really comes up. And I think that goes for private life and work life.
Yeah, for sure.
Helping others out. People will help you out.
How do you...
Just quickly, how do you go about it?
Networking? I think you summed it up fairly well. I think it's just, when you're already active in the industry, I think it goes a long way just to be nice with people on set, or, you know, just don't be an asshole. Like I've heard so many stories where like people were mistreated on set, especially like positions that don't have the limelight on, like, you know, like maybe PAs and stuff. People are not
not on
the limelight, like the spot on them, you know, like DPs, directors. It's like, oh, you have to be taking care of these people, but like people like PA, or like, you know, hair and makeup, and like people that work in the shadows a little bit, sometimes they're very they're mistreated some ways on sets. And I've heard stories, I'm like, I don't understand how a film set justifies being mean to other people, because I understand we work on like we work on under a lot of pressure if you have like a really tight schedule and stuff, but like without the people that are all working towards the same goal of making cool shit, like there's no need to be mean. You can get across, and I think this is one of the main things as a DP to get your message across nicely to everyone. Sometimes you can be like a little more firm and stuff, but like I think being nice overall to people goes a long way. And I think this is the best thing because, like, as you said, someone who works with you, maybe to be the first, second AC, whatever, then they talk about you to someone else, and maybe like they say, oh, this was a really nice production, like people were treated well, like the schedule was good, they were not like assholes about like
it's already a lot of the rent, like 80% of the rent is already being nice, being on schedule, being understanding for everyone.
And I think this goes a long way. And
so you don't do anything active to... I
think like the most networking I do for people, like to connect with people in the industry, is through like mostly Instagram.
Social media.
Yeah, I think. I don't know about you, but I think like this is the easiest platform to reach out. Because like...
That's how we met.
And I think like all the more professional networking platforms like LinkedIn and stuff are not really... They're nice, but they're not heavily used by creatives.
Yeah.
And I think it might work well for other industries, but for creatives, I think Instagram...
LinkedIn is a weird platform. It's really like, I really want to post stuff on there because I know there's, a lot of people on there, and especially for business purposes. But I don't know, every post I see on LinkedIn is like,
it's
cringing me out. Yeah. Because everybody wants to show how, and like, they're taking metaverse from like a small thing happens in their company, and they're taking a metaphor for this and like the bigger picture. And it's, I don't know.
It's super cringe, and like
it's trying to find a way to post on LinkedIn without doing the same.
What I've been doing on LinkedIn, and this might be interesting for you too, is like I tend not to post the same thing on YouTube that on LinkedIn that I would post on Instagram, for instance. Because I'd say, okay, my audience is more on LinkedIn would be more like professionals that need like more.
I think more clients.
There are more clients.
General.
Yeah, no, professionals, not as in professional filmmaking professionals, but more like clients that have needs for more corporate stuff, for more, so like all the commercials that are pretty corporate, I can put it on there. Or like interview stuff and shit, like this goes on there because it showcases people that have
corporate stuff
that need corporate stuff, basically.
Yeah, I understand.
And as opposed on Instagram, you go on the more artsy, like the nicest.
But still, do you post like final videos on there, or
not
what do you actually post? Or like behind the scenes more, like to show how you work and what you do?
I think the main reason why I post
or metaphors of.
no metaphors, but I think the main thing I do on LinkedIn is just like showing people that I'm working a lot, and that I work for like different people, different brands that they might relate to. So let's say you work for like a museum, for instance, then other museums will they did it.
He's working for a museum. Yeah. Oh, he could work for us.
Yeah, or like you work for like bigger brands and stuff. Like he worked for XYZ, and then like so maybe he'd be able to work for us. It gives you a little bit of legitimacy in terms of like what you do. And that's
you said you actively, like the only thing you do actively is social media or Instagram in specific. What do you do actively on there to connect?
Just like reach out to people and be like, hey, yo, what's up? Especially for like people in Switzerland, be like, oh, you're like you're AC, like DP, whatever. Oh, we could connect and stuff. Like, I think you just meet new people. You text them, you meet them if they want to, and like maybe like most of the time it won't lead anywhere in terms of like business opportunities, but you never know. And you might meet people you have this like you share interest with, like
it's long term, like
exactly.
Someday you're like, oh, you told me you were doing this and that, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But as I think you mentioned, like I don't necessarily like do business development like in the sense of like I'm trying to sell stuff all the time, because I think it's not me. And as you said, I wouldn't necessarily be good at it. Yeah. And like you, because like you're also pretty active on socials with your professional account.
Try to.
And so what do you do? Like, do you also reach out to people?
Yeah. I try to do it like without. That's what I said. I'll just reach out to people if I see something, or just also like being nice when I see nice stuff. I'll tell them like, oh shit, I love that.
Fire.
The flame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just and talk to them and like, oh, how did you do that? That's interesting, and just kind of nerd out with a lot of people that works. I mean, that's also something fun I like to do. It's not like, it's most of the time without a thought. And that's what I mean, like just going about it as with no back thoughts. It's just, you like to reach out to people, and chances are these people, because what really helps me is also turning it around. If I want to like connect with this person and I'm like, oh, how do I go about it? Or, you know, like overthinking a lot of things, I'd like to turn it around. Like, what if another person came up to me and like wanted whatever I want to do with, connect for a specific project or request something, whatever. I try to turn around and ask myself, how would I react if somebody did the same thing to me?
Yeah.
Chances are I'll be nice. And even if I have to tell the person no to whatever she needs or wants or whatever, I'll do it in a friendly way, because it doesn't cost more to say no nicely than like an asshole. So chances are other people are going to do the same.
Yeah.
There's assholes, yes, but then they have issues with themselves and not you.
True.
So,
I have issues. I really like.
You do have issues?
No, I do have a lot of issues. I like when people reach out and like say, "Oh, I liked what you did" and stuff. Like,
just kind of.
But what I kind of dislike is when people just ask for stuff from you without necessarily saying hi and stuff, or they ask for information without being nice about it, like,
and without ever having talked.
So like the first message is like, "Hey, tell me how you did this, whatever. How did you do this, mashallah?" And it's like, dude, just like say hi and like just say what's up, like I like your work, whatever, and like
it
talk
feels
a
like
little bit,
draining you.
Yeah,
just getting resources.
And I've got a few of these like this year, and every time like I really don't want to answer them, but I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like it's just like if you met someone in the street, you wouldn't just like go up to that person and be like, "Oh, tell me how you do this," and then not say hi, like congratulate or whatever. So
yeah.
This is kind of what I don't.
Yeah, but that's kind of just the way, because it's the same thing in the end.
Yeah.
You know, asking, just connecting and asking how other people do things, because you might not know how to do that.
Yeah.
But the way how you do it is a big part of it. Just being
For
nice
sure.
and being in connection with, maybe like all the time. Maybe it's back and forth. Maybe it's also the other person. And like because because you like said hi and talked about a project they did and just congratulated them or give them feedback, like this is super nice, will enable the other person and give them the courage to like, oh, this guy's so nice, I'm gonna ask him because I saw this one thing, or later you post whatever, like, hey, how did you rig this, because it looks amazing, and you're gonna be able, like, you're gonna be more open to help out, because like, oh, we got a connection.
100%.
And it doesn't need to be a lot, because I've got a lot of people that I only know from Instagram. I still haven't met them, and we like talk.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like on a regular basis, and we help each other out. I've never met them because the connection is so small. Actually, it's just a platform. Yeah, never been physical, nothing. But
you never know. One day it might turn out like they need someone, or they give you a job and stuff. And I think it.
And also starting out with giving, not taking, is really good.
Yeah.
Like not always requesting things, but like giving out things.
Oh, for sure.
Like as the first step, because.
Oh, this is definitely like
it will always come back.
Always. I know that like a few months back, you completely removed yourself from social media for a little bit. Did you find? I know you liked the experience in terms of just like mental space.
I talked about it many times.
Yeah, but how about the networking aspect of things and like connecting with people? And did you miss it, or did you see any differences in your daily life?
It was actually, it was actually even better, because I started to actively think about who do I want to connect to and who do I want to keep in contact and like contact in that moment. Yeah. Like who do I want to like hit up for whatever reason. Might be private, might be business, might be mixed, I don't know, networking. And I think that's also a takeaway I had, that I was actively thinking about who do I actually want to hit up. And Instagram is like just basically throwing at you these stories and posts like, look at this guy. What about this guy? And like you're not actively thinking about who do I actually want to connect with. Yeah, that's like true. More on the private part, but also business part. Like private part, for example, just a brief, like friends. On Instagram, you're like connecting with this and that, and they're all like connections you have. Might be from school, might be closer, might be further away, but it like suggests you all these people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're off of that, like only WhatsApp, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
you have to actively think about, who do I want to contact?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I writing? And not just watching a story and answering and kind of be like, oh, I'm still connected with that person, because you're not.
It's more meaningful, you mean?
Yeah, it's more like, also like active. It's more from inside of you and not just being thrown at with like different faces and stories and like, oh, this guy is nice.
Mm-hmm.
You're like actively deciding. And that was a big difference. Yeah.
And
But
so
it wasn't like I wasn't connected to people. I mean, first of all, it was a rather short period, like 7 weeks. It's not too long. But I could have done much longer. Especially like, I mean, I could just, if I could still post stuff and kind of show what I do, because that's important to me, to like show stuff you're doing and just putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you can do that. And that's a small part of the whole Instagram thing. I think a bigger part is like consumption.
Why do you,
Why
because
am
I
back?
hear you and like I agree 100%, but why? Because you have one private account that we not going to talk about and one professional account.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you still have both and not only the professional account? Because like what you're saying is like you like showing what you're doing, and this is the way I approach Instagram. I think I talked about it earlier, but I use Instagram mostly professionally. Like 98% is professional, 2% is sending memes to some of my friends, and this, I think this allowed me, because like, you know, when you're outside and like, oh, I have to post a story of something, or I completely removed this from my life. I don't post stories about the personal stuff. And I think this was kind of freeing to some extent. So I was wondering, why do you still have this like private account?
It's a good question. I don't really use the private account.
Yeah.
Do you follow me in the private account as well?
You don't follow me.
Cut this. Whoever's editing this, can you cut this, please? Well, I'm going to follow you then.
Thank you.
But anyway.
One more.
So I don't really use it to show private stuff. Like I haven't posted probably like 8 months or something. But it's a good question. I think I'm still connected to a lot of people in there that are not connected professionally.
Okay.
And I want to kind of keep it.
Which one was the first
the
account?
private.
The private.
Yeah.
First. Okay.
And also, that just came to my mind like a few weeks back, but also kind of a backup account. It's not too bad to have because I use it professionally, and it you know, it helps me with my job. In case I've heard a lot of stories when people can't access their account, they get hacked and it gets deleted like permanently. You can't get it back, or you just can't get it back. It still exists, but you can't log in because somehow they can't figure out that you're the proper owner of it. Yeah, having a backup account is not too shabby. Yeah, where you're already connected with people and you know.
Fair enough.
But that just came to my mind like lately. It wasn't the original thought, so I'm like, I'm gonna keep it alive.
So now we've talked about like how we reach out to like individuals and like-minded individual. Do you also like a big part of networking? We're not gonna lie, is like trying to get new clients and trying to get involved in like more projects. How do you go about it? Because like as a freelance DP, there are lots of different people that can give you job. There are like clients that can get you, and you work almost like a production company. You take care of everything, but you DP as well. And you can also reach out to like production companies, for instance, and they will hire you out just for DPing. You're not in charge of edit or production or anything. How do you approach this? Because do you use a lot of like cold emails, sending emails, like Instagram or?
Funny enough, I've never done this, and I'm actually in the process of doing this like for the first time right now. And I don't want to speak about what I'm going to do. I'll talk about it later, but
OnlyFans.
That's a nice idea. Send an OnlyFans link to your clients. Yeah. I bet they're going to like that. But yeah, I can't really. I don't do this on a regular basis. Okay. I want to do this now because kind of like for me, it has been a shift now in what I do and how I want to work. So now it feels like a perfect moment to kind of promote that and go out. But on a regular basis, I don't do that. I think for me, the best way that just came to my mind to connect is passion projects. Yeah. That's where I have met the most people that I work today with the most. Because it's so much easier to reach out to a person that you would like to work with and be like, hey, I like your work. I think we could work together. I would love to like do a passion project, like no matter the size, and kind of figure out if it matches. And chances are, if you have a great time and you match and it's a great project, people will be like, I had a great experience there. Because you can really see how you function on a film set. Yeah. It's not just going out for a coffee, because you might vibe, but you don't know how the work is going to be. And being on a like unimportant film set or project, whatever, with that person and getting to know them like really experienced on set is super nice. Yeah. And like after a day, I mean, you know this, after a day on the set, you know a person, how she works, how she or he works. And that to me, it's like the perfect. But of course, you already have a person in mind. It's just someone specific that you might know from somewhere else already a bit.
I always find really tricky to like, because cold emails, like reaching out without being asked to, like and stuff like this. I've always found this approach kind of tricky, because in one way, it's a way to like reach out and like send someone your show reel or something like this. But on the other hand, like on the other hand, like I kind of feel like you get hired for the work you do. That means like past projects and like what people have heard of you and like what people have seen of you already, not necessarily you showing them what you want to show them, but like your name being like thrown around and stuff. This is what's going to get you the most work at the end of the day, I think, because I've received so many unsolicited emails where like, oh, we are a design company from XYZ. Do you want to jump on a call real quick? Oh, we have this company, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not interested at all whatsoever. But
design companies.
Yeah, like whatever, a lot of IT companies are reaching out to like most likely everyone on LinkedIn, for instance. Yeah. And it's just annoying because like I'm not interested at all. And I think it gives also kind of a bad image to the company, because it's like, oh, they really need to get a lot of work in, which is understandable, but like it's like it kind of like depreciate the value of what they're offering 100%. To some extent. Whereas if your name is thrown around, you post your best work on socials and you're nice to people and they talk about you, words of mouth and stuff, I think this vouches for your talent and what you do a lot more than just like, hi, I'm a cinematographer from Bern, Switzerland, and I really like shooting.
But also like really thinking about who do you want to work with and who would actually be a match, and not just like, for example, if I wanted to go up to production companies, instead of sending that to every production company I can find, where probably around 10% of them are really like a production company based on the size and what they do and the style they need, that actually would be a match. Why not find these 10% and actively go for them and maybe even
cater to them,
and maybe even like customize the message or the call or email, whatever you're doing, postcard, whatever, to this specific company or person, and showing them or telling them why this is a match. Because that's instantly a much more like a personal approach than just, here's my work. Yeah. Maybe it's cool, maybe not. Yeah. It's also understandable, like you said, it's work, it's business, it's to connect, and there might be some people working that it works out with, but chances are it's much more long lasting.
Yeah, I think for what we do, I think the quality of like the reach out that you do is more important than the quantity of like the reach out you do. Because I understand if you have like a digital product you want to sell to like as many people as possible.
It doesn't matter who the fuck
it doesn't matter. Yeah. Just like spam.
Do you like the product or no?
Yeah.
But also, since on a film set, you work very closely with people, very in person. You can't do that remotely. I mean, you're just gonna be with the person. You're gonna spend a lot of time preparing post-production, maybe on set, and like socially, it really has to work out. And I think doing that on a like quantity basis, like just throwing it out, it doesn't really work. Quality-wise, like rather do it in quality and have 10 people instead of 100, but 10 that you really believe like that could be a match, and I could actually see myself working with or for them.
For sure.
Because of a certain reason, and not just like, maybe they like my mail, maybe they're gonna answer. Yeah. Because that's also like, doesn't need to be negative, but it's definitely can be. Yeah, it doesn't need to be positive either.
Yeah.
It can just be like, another guy is sending me an email.
Yeah.
Delete.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to say?
No, I don't think so. I think, no, it's really the approach.
The approach.
For me, it's clear. It's just being friendly and open-minded.
Being friendly, open-minded, be nice to people, treat people like you would like them to treat you.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you have any? Do you have any like nice networking and connecting stories? Yeah.
No, we just for the backstory. If you didn't listen to the first 3 episodes of the podcast, then you should go listen to them. But Phil and I played football for the same football team. Not the same years. I won the whole thing. I won the ring, and then I left, and Phil started playing.
And I had the opposite side.
Then I had the opposite.
I played everything, but never won.
And then we saw each other on Instagram. We saw that we were both doing kind of the same thing, and we reached out. And then it's a long-term relationship that like started to build up. We worked on a few projects together, and then we had this podcast idea and stuff. And I think this is like really the kind of long-lasting relationships that you hope to get out of.
And I think we both connected without like a specific reason. We just knew each other. Like we've heard from each other. Yeah. From common friends. Yeah. And teammates, and like we started following each other, and like kind of knew who the other person was, and just kind of connected. Started talking to each other, and be like, hey, why don't you come up like for a coffee? Let's have lunch together or whatever. Yeah. And just without like even having a specific goal or just connecting.
Yeah. And I think like
that was years ago.
That was a long time ago. Right?
Not years, but that was probably like 2019. Yeah. Yeah. That's 4 years ago now.
4 years ago.
And I mean, probably after that, we might not have worked together for another year. Yeah. I think.
Might have, yeah.
Or like.
Yeah, I think the first project we worked on, that was during COVID, so that's probably 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could have just been like, it's not a match. Yeah. We might have never worked with each other, but you need to take the chance and kind of see where it goes.
Other than that, I think like other like nice networking stories, all on Instagram is like some people, as you said, I've never met ever in person, but like we have like really like a lot. We have big conversations together like all the time. Yeah. I have people from like the United States, Canada, like all over the world, like, and we share similar interests. We talk like as if we were like super close in terms of like distance, and it's pretty crazy to think about it, because like if you look back maybe 20 years ago, I don't think this kind of relationship will have been like feasible. Yeah. And that being said, like for a lot of work, not necessarily DP, but like color or like post-production, you can work with like people from like across the globe easily. They just send you the files, you edit them. Like I think this connection goes beyond the borders. Yeah, I think it's nice to know people like in your country, in your area, but I think you can always connect to other people.
Of course.
And that's nice. And do you have like nice stories?
Well, ours came to my mind as well, as like one of the most long-lasting and most intense. I mean, now the podcast and everything. Yeah, you might blush. But the others are not specific ones, but I just thought about it now that I was asking you this. And it's 90% passion projects, like short films, passion projects I was on and connected to different film-specific roles. Yeah. And still, like, with almost every person I ever worked, I'm somehow connected. And there's always a second time you somehow meet. And it's always beautiful just to be on another set with a production company, and then there's like you go there and you're like, oh, you're here.
What's up, dude?
You remember when we were there in the mountains, or we did this and that? It's just fun. Yeah. And that's cool.
That's sick.
That helps.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about social media. Lots of bad things, but like this is one of the cool things. Connecting with people.
Just need to use it properly, and
for sure,
it's a nice.
No, that might be. So I don't know, cultural appropriation. I don't know. You can't do that.
No pizza for me.
Hey now.
Well, let's wrap this up.
Let's go.
Obrigado.
Yes.